Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and this week's episode of new makeup releases, are they going on the wish list or not? This is my first time filming in 2 weeks. I am back from Hawaii and it has been a super rough re-entry into this time zone and sleep catch up. Man, I don't travel a ton, but I never travel really more than one time zone, and this was 5 time zones, and then we got back on Sunday. I'm filming this on a Thursday. We got back Sunday at like 9:30ish in the morning, and I'm pretty sure I pretty much slept until like 1:30 the next day. I couldn't really tell you what happened between that time. I'm sure that people were talking to me like my kids, but it's been like a fog. Do any of you guys experience that when you travel? I was not expecting that. I thought I would sleep Sunday and then Monday I'd be ready to go. Well, Monday I really couldn't function as well. Tuesday and Wednesday was pretty difficult. Also slept a lot those days. And today I think I'm finally like getting back on track. My dad read something and he said that it takes, for every time zone, it takes 1 day to catch up on like your clock, your internal clock, I guess, to catch up to itself. So this is day 5, so hopefully it's the end of that, but that was like torture. So anyways, I am excited to be filming today. I wanted to film, I had planned to start refilming on Monday because as of today, I have nothing pre-filmed. So usually I've got at least a week pre-filmed. So I'm filming this Thursday. My goal by the end of the week is to have 2 more videos filmed as well, because by the time you film it, edit it, you know, it's nice to have 1 or 2 things ready to go. So anyways, I'm back. My big fall giveaway is going on right now. I will link up here in the iCards the video to where you can see everything that's in it, as well as how to get entered, all those kinds of things, and I'll put a link down below as well. You do have to be a subscriber and then follow the Gleam link to get entered into that. So that will all be detailed down below. But let's hop into this. There have been a lot of things released in the past 2 weeks, and has it been 2 weeks? It might be 3 weeks since I had a new makeup releases up. Maybe just 2. Because I didn't film one the week that we left because there was like not time to film something like that and edit it. So I didn't check Instagram a lot while I was gone, but the couple times I did, it was like companies are going crazy with makeup. And before I hop into the first one that I want to talk about, I do want to mention that this series is inspired by Samantha March and her Will I Buy It series. I will link it down below. And the community playlist, where lots of creators that create these videos put their videos on, so you can check out what other people's opinions are as well. And of course, I always love to hear what your guys' opinions are, because we obviously have different opinions and it's neat to hear what other people think. A lot of the times you guys really like the things that are way not on my list. So that's just fun to hear as well. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on these two. The first thing I want to talk about is ABH has just gone a little bit like off the deep end with eyeshadow palettes, and it's just really, really bizarre, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. ABH has always been a brand that, like, very thoughtful, infrequent releases is, I feel like, what we've always gotten from them. And now it's, I mean, I don't even know how many releases they've had this year on eyeshadow palettes. At least 7, I think, possibly 8. And I am so overwhelmed. They've also been a brand where I love, like, I just love ABH shadows and their palettes. I feel like I have a bit of a collector side to me when it comes to those, and I'm almost a little turned off by all of it and overwhelmed. And the weird thing too is it had a couple collabs this year as well. What if they had 3 collabs? And it's just a lot. Has it just been 2 collabs? Alyssa Edwards and Jackie Aina. Has there been another one? I feel like there was another one. So there's a couple things I want to talk about these new huge palettes. They're the 3 Norvina palettes, right? So Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And a lot of people are saying that the price is expensive. I kind of think it's a, if they're the same quality, which people are saying they are, I think $60 for, what is it, 25 shadows is actually a pretty good deal, because when you get one of their 14 pan palettes, these are like, what, $48, I think, $42 to $48, and you're getting 13 more shadows with that for just like 12 to 15 more dollars. So as far as price goes on these, I think, like, yes, it's a lot of money, but in terms of the quality and the number of shadows you're going to get, I think it's a pretty reasonable price, especially if you look at some of the more expensive ones like Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, which I do want to talk about Pat McGrath in this video. Anyways, so these are launching exclusively at Sephora. Well, darn. I was really hoping that these were going to come to Ulta, because I would buy one with I've got a ton of, boy, I'm really struggling with this, like, not filming for 2-week thing. My brain's not quite on, my brain is not quite firing on all cylinders today. So I would have picked one of these up with my Ulta bonus points, my Ulta rewards, if it was coming to Ulta. And since it's not coming to Ulta, I also can't swatch it in store, so I don't know. If I were going to pick one, it would be the Volume 3. I think that one suits me the best. I kind of felt like the Norvina one was just kind of, it's like they put those purple 2 shades and then they just threw some more in there. The Norvina 2, it really looks like a mess as well. And I am not one that needs my shadows in any certain pan shape. I don't need the pan shapes to be the same. I don't need the colors to be in order or anything like that. I can get inspiration from pretty much anything. But the Norvina 2, it looks out of control. Like, reel it in, pick a color story. It just looks messy. The third one I think is really beautiful. I would love to have those matte shades in the Norvina, or in the ABH formula, because ABH is a really good formula and their shimmers are really nice as well. So that one is going to be on my wish list. I just don't know if I'm going to end up picking it up or not. I really wish I could go in store and swatch those, but like I said, we don't have a Sephora in my town, and I'm not going to buy it if I can't swatch it and see if, to me, it really is similar to the other ABH shadows, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know. But I don't understand why they're just throwing all of these palettes out there. Like, they just released the Jackie Aina one. So if these were going to be intended for a holiday collection and for people to purchase for gifts for the holidays, then I feel like maybe they should have released those like that and maybe save the Jackie Aina one for after the holidays, maybe. It just seems like a lot and not very well thought out. I also don't feel like they have like that great of a theme to them. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on those ABH palettes, because they are just, it didn't make sense to me. It did not make sense to me. And I'm going to leave it at that. But I would love to see those in stores and swatch those. So next, let's talk about, we've got lots of fall kinds of things to talk about. Next, I want to talk about these Midas Cosmetics Coffee Collection palette. So they are $12 a piece. They're quads. They launch October 4th, but they're available for pre-order right now. And I do have a code. What is my Midas code? Melissa Ann, and you get 20% off your order. So that's a pretty good deal. They're starting out at $12. I do like the Midas Cosmetics formula. I've got 2 palettes from them, and I actually want these palettes. I don't want the glitter one. So the glitter one is, what is that one called? Let me see what they're called. They're all really cute little themes. So we've got the greenish one is Green Tea Macchiato. Pumpkin Spice Latte is the orangey one. Chocolate Raspberry Decaf. And then the shimmery one is Caramel Cappuccino. Now, Their glitter formula is not terrible. It is not my favorite glitter formula that I've ever tried, but I just don't need those. However, to get that palette, it's just $2 more, so I'll probably pick up the bundle and then put the glitter palette in a giveaway because I have enough glitter shadows that I don't need any more glitter shadows. You know what I mean? But I think those are really pretty. I think those are very curated selection of shadows that go very well together, and I like them. I like them a lot. And I still want that Temptation palette from Midas Cosmetics. You know what I need to do is I need to do things that are on my wish list, because I actually have, if I was not on a low buy, I would have had a lot more purchases. So it's a probably good thing that I'm on a low buy because I don't need all of these palettes, but there are a ton of things right now that are on my wish list. I'm just really liking a lot of releases and I need to chill out. Let's talk about this one. The Juvia's Place Wahala Translation Drama palette, and it is set to launch in November. Boy, they typically don't show what a cover is going to look like that soon before it launches. I mean, we have a whole another month before that launches. So I wonder when they're going to show us the inside, but I'm super excited to see what that is. I feel like something with drama is going to be bold. Hopefully. So I did not pick up the Nomad palette or the Warrior 3 or the Warrior 3 palette, and I'm good to pick up another Juvia's Place palette this year. So if that Wahala one is up my alley, then I will probably pick it up. The Nomad one is still kind of like teetering there on the wish list. Not sure if I'm going to pick it up or not, but I'm excited to see what that one looks like. ColourPop has also been releasing some things while I've been gone, and the main one I want to talk about is the Lilac palette. So it is Lilac You a Lot. It is the lighter, softer pastel sister to the My Pleasure palette. And honestly, I'm probably not picking this up. It is beautiful. It is right up my alley. But because of that, I own those shades. I own those colors, so I don't think that I need those colors in my collection. But super pretty and really affordable. So if you like those colors and you don't think that you own them, then this may be a palette for you. Now, I say that, and let's be honest, if there's some crazy sale going on at ColourPop, like 30% off everything, I'm probably going to end up picking it up. So I'll just warn you about that. And then we have the Fall palette, which is the Whatever palette. And first of all, too many of the shadows are too dark for me to be drawn to this, and it just is kind of boring. It's kind of boring. I don't have a lot to say about it. The one from last year, what was their fall palette called? What was it? I can't remember, but whatever their fall palette was from last year, Good Sport, which I did also not pick up, that one was way better than this one. I don't know what they were thinking about this. There is some other things in this collection, though, that are really pretty, like the maroon. They've got like a maroon liner and mascara, which I obviously need that maroon gel liner. So I will be picking that up at some point. They came out with a new foundation line. I really don't have a lot to say about that. I don't typically buy ColourPop skin kinds of products, and it is a light buildable coverage. But I do want to talk about the new sponge that came out with it. It is going to be $7, and it has launched the day I'm filming this, so it's already launched, and it is part of the Pretty Fresh collection with the foundation, and I definitely need to try a $7 sponge to see what its quality is. So the next time I place a ColourPop order, I will be picking one of those up to give it a try. Oh, I definitely want to talk about this. AMI Hearts Beauty has got some Halloween kind of collections out. I don't know if we're getting this, if we're on the PR list or not. I haven't had any shipping notifications come through or anything. She does have some things coming out that I want to talk about. So the first thing is the Spirit family, and it looks like it's sold out and now it's back in stock. So I want to pull up my Ghost Shadow because it was kind of, this was the shade from last Halloween collection that this this selection of shadows was born from, what is the word I'm looking for? You know, designed after, inspired by, because so many people like this ghost shadow, and it is so pretty. So it had kind of like this green shift to it. So this year she made a whole collection with different color shifts. So here's Ghost. It's like a really pretty inner corner highlight with a slight yellow green shift to it, and her shimmers, by the way, are amazing. I don't really need those. I've got this one and it's really, I mean, it's really pretty. I don't use it a ton, but I can tell you that if you like something like that, they are really pretty and good quality. Now the second thing, sometimes she releases so much I get confused, okay? So what are the, I thought that was like part one. So that's like the pre-Halloween collection. And then part one is these single shadows here. So they kind of look like a 3 chrome shade. 3 shifts to it. I would love to try one of those. That may be on my wish list. I do have a code with AMI Hearts Beauty. It is an affiliate code. And you get 10% off, and it is Melissa Ann as well. I only have some hints to part 2, so we're not really even going to talk about that. But they are these colorful buttons, and then this Halloween. This reminds me, oh, who's the little guy that wears the buttons for eyes? I don't know. I'm kind of feeling at this point like I need to go back to bed, get some more sleep, and wake up again. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to see what comes out with the whole collection, and then I may just pick make an order and pick and choose some different things to try. I feel like this video is already getting very long, and I've talked about like 3 products. So the next thing that we have, and I'm trying to remember, this is from Strobe Cosmetics, but not Strobe Cosmetics because they're changed their name, but my Instagram is not directing me to their page for me to find out what the new name is. But the palette is called the Arcana palette. And, you know, right off the bat, I can already tell you that this is not on my wish list. It looks really pretty, but again, I don't love super deep, dark palettes. I like to have some darker shadows in my palette to deepen up colors. I don't want a whole palette of really deep shadows. I will never reach for it. So it's not on my wish list. Shroud Cosmetics. So Strobe Cosmetics has changed the name to Shroud Cosmetics. This is not on my wish list. I mean, it looks like it's a good color story, and it's got some different colors and depths to them, but it just looks very dark. Maybe it's because it's on black background too. Maybe if it was white, it would be more appealing to me. I don't have any swatches for those yet. I mean, actually, when you see them on the fingers, they do look more, they look lighter than when they're in the palette. It is available for pre-order. I am not going to pick it up though. You can see. They do look really pretty like this, but I am going to say that is still not on my wish list because it is still kind of deep for me. You know what I wanted to talk about were 2 brands that have kind of been, maybe I want to try them sometime. So when I was in Hawaii, there was a Sephora, a huge Sephora with like everything I've ever wanted to swatch in it. So I swatched Pat McGrath. I was very unimpressed by Pat McGrath. It did not make me ever want to pick up a palette from it. I felt like they were very, I felt like the shimmers were very thin, almost just like top coats, and that is way too expensive of a price point to pay for something that's just going to layer on top of a shadow. In my opinion, I can get that from other shadows at a much cheaper price point. I also swatched some of the Dominique Cosmetics shadows. Now, while those were very pigmented and beautiful, I felt like in person they were much different than what I'd seen on Instagram. So I wasn't really drawn to wanting to pick one of those up either from the ones that have been released so far. They looked a little more neutral than they are when you see them on Instagram, in my opinion, when I saw them in store. What else did I swatch? I swatched some Milk Cosmetics. Wasn't super impressed by that. Now, I guess if you're like a strictly Sephora shopper and you're not into all these indie brands, then maybe those shadows are amazing compared to other mainstream brands that they sell in Sephora. But when you are aware of all of the high quality indie brands at the cheaper price points, it's harder for a mainstream brand to impress me now that I know the quality of things that are out there. So those things have fallen off the wish list. You know what I didn't swatch that I should have was Hourglass. I still want to try one of the ambient lighting powders. All right, moving on, I do want to talk about the new palette from Yes Glitters, which is Autumn Nights. It's a limited edition. It's sold out. It restocked. And I have a code MEL. All my codes are going to be listed down below. Well, those are my 3 codes. All my codes. Actually, they all had new releases this week. So, okay. This palette, I love a lot of the shades from this palette, but I also feel like I have a lot of the shades, so I'm not going to be picking this palette up, but I do think that it's a really pretty cool color story. I think it's a colorful palette with some neutrals in it. So if you like color but still like to keep it some neutral, this might be a good palette for you. Great formula from Yes Glitters. I've done several looks with the color kit from Yes Glitters. I love that one. And I took this one, the Fantasy palette, to Hawaii with me, and I used that a lot too, and I actually really like that, even though it's a lot more neutral. I thought it was really pretty. So I believe this has no pressed glitters in it. They are moving, she is moving away from the pressed glitter formula in the eyeshadow palettes which, okay, I don't hate having pressed glitters in my palettes, but I'm starting to get a bit irritated by them because I just don't, I would rather have another shade that I'm going to use more frequently in a palette than a pressed glitter. And like I've got my pressed glitter palette from Lucius Lux collection, and these are great, really good quality. I should see, ooh, they are still in, I've had it for about a year and they're not dried out or anything. So if I want a glitter, I'm going to reach for this. I don't want to have it in my palette. Ooh, uh-oh, I made a little mess. I actually do really appreciate the fact that that doesn't have a pressed glitter, and I wish ColourPop would stop putting them in their 9-pan palettes. Just don't do it. Just don't do it, okay? If we want a pressed glitter, we will purchase a single shadow pressed glitter from you, ColourPop. The next one is a Makeup Revolution collab with, who is this person? Alexis Stone. I have never heard of this person before. British artist and drag queen. So here's the problem with this palette is like pretty much 3 rows are all the exact same shades, and then the bottom row is like 1 shade darker. So I don't really know, like, that could have been 2 rows of eyeshadows. I don't get it. I mean, I get that you have like a color, I don't even think I can call it a color gradient going down. It's so bizarre, isn't it? And there's like a 1-row palette of just shimmers, and I love the packaging of how sleek that is, but I don't need 1 row of shimmer. It's a very weird release to me. Good for her for collabing, good for Makeup Revolution for collabing with someone new that we haven't heard of. I don't need it. I don't want it. There are just a lot of bizarre releases this week. Right? Okay. Ruby May Cosmetics has got the new Pop Zombie palette out. I love Ruby May Cosmetics. Really, really good quality shadows. This one is on my I'm still thinking about it list. I mean, how cute is that? A big reason that this is on my list. My son is obsessed with zombies. He loves them, but like Plants vs. Zombies, not creepy, weird zombies, you know what I mean? And this is just fun. It's super fun. I love the theme. Thinking about it. I am thinking about it. And they've got sales all the time, so I can just keep an eye out for a sale if I want to pick that up. And I only purchased my Sigma brushes in September. In August, I think I had 1 or 2 purchases. So, holiday collections just come my way. I am ready to make a purchase. What was I going to get? Ooh, you know what I was going to get and didn't was the new Lethal Cosmetics collection. I don't know if I'm going to pick that up or not. I have to look at what is on my wish list right now and decide what is the highest, most interesting to me. There's definitely going to be a video coming up soon with all the makeup that's on my wish list. Viseart. I mean, $175. You guys know you can get this quality with indie brands at a much cheaper price point. I mean, like where is my, Certify? Like a big Certify palette, it's like 30 something, and this quality is so stinking amazing. Or, you know, Lethal Cosmetics or Divina shadows. Like if you want some really good quality mattes, purchase from an indie brand. Don't spend $200 on this. I don't get it. I know they're supposed to be like really good quality, but so are so many other eyeshadows. It's okay. It's a rainbow palette, right? It's a rainbow palette. All right, next, is this Too Faced again? Too Faced. They've got this little Let It Snow Girl collection. Christmas cookie house party with 20 shadows is $60. Maybe it's the whole collection is $60. Yeah, none of this. I mean, why? That palette is so dark too. Is that a trend coming? How many palettes have I said that for today? That they're just too dark for my taste. I like a really bright, bold, colorful look. I don't have that on today. I did a more neutral look with a red wing liner and I'm loving it. But if you're wondering, that's one of the ColourPop colored liquid liners that I use today. Brands are just kind of like stinking it this week. Oh my gosh, I got to talk about one other thing. Benefit has got a new brow product out. And I mean, pretty much if Benefit releases a brow product, it's like, here's my credit card, go ahead and ring it up. I love Benefit brow products. This one, this looks like an Ulta ad, but I don't think it is. I'm sure it's going to be coming to Ulta, so I will be getting it with my bonus points as soon as I get a 20% coupon. I've already got things ready to go in my cart for whenever that 20% coupon comes out, so I am excited to get that. Pat McGrath has got some more. This is ridiculous, okay? She's got some more shadows coming out. She just came out with like those little 5-pan ones, and now she's got some quads. These quads are $65. I just spit. For 4 eyeshadows. That's insane. That's like $15 an eyeshadow. That's $16.50 an eyeshadow. Please don't buy that. Please don't spend that kind of money. I mean, I thought when I swatched those shadows in Sephora, I was gonna like faint from how amazing they are because of what people say about them, how much they cost, and I'm like, is this a joke? These are regular eyeshadows and some of them aren't even that great. Am I going to get slaughtered to the wood? Am I going to get like thrown to the wolves for saying this about Pat McGrath? I'm sorry. It just wasn't that great, you guys. Save your money, guys. Save your money. I don't really think I want to talk about anything else today. I'm kind of bored with everything else. Blush Tribe's relaunching their, not pastel, Neon Dreams palette as a defective palette. So it's only 15 pounds. I'm thinking about picking it up. Now, it says, you know, it can only be used as a pressed pigment, and I'm good with that. You know, nobody liked the Subculture palette because it had so many pressed pigments in it. I love it. It's one of my favorite palettes. I think I'm going to be good with being able to use those shadows. So, I also have really, really been wanting the Pastel Tribe palette from Blush Tribe. The next time they have a sale, I might just go ahead and pick those 2 palettes up. I got some saved up purchases, so those have been on my wish list since April. That's a good time to think about it, and if I still want it, it's almost October, right? I might pick those up. But I did want to let you guys know that. Oh, you know the other thing I wanted to say about those AV8 shadows? Every palette has the same color names. Why can they not have names? A5, A5, A5. There's an A5 and 3 palettes. That, I don't like that at all. I don't like it at all. I want those colors to have names, and a letter with a number is not a good name for an eyeshadow. That irritates me. So I think that for the rest of the year, unless you guys have a palette you really want me to pull back up, for my palette of the month, I am going to be doing Create Your Own Palette, because I had a ton of fun with that in the fall, and I think I'm going to kind of theme it. So we've got Halloween coming up, so maybe like some kind of Halloween themed color, Create Your Own Palette. Thanksgiving, I'll have to be creative with what I pull up for Thanksgiving, but I like having some kind of picture to inspire me when I create those palettes, and that was just really fun. And then something for Christmas. So I think that's what I'm going to do for my palette of the months. Let me know if you guys have some kind of inspiration that you want me to pull from for October, November, or December. I kind of already have my October one picked out in my head, but I'm always open to suggestions from you guys. I think that's everything for today. Right? Let me just tell you, right now this is 50 minutes. It's probably gonna be 20 minutes by the time I edit it down. I was so helter-skelter and brain not functioning today that I'm probably gonna have to cut out over half the footage. Don't forget to enter the giveaway before you leave. If you enjoy this kind of video, please do click that subscribe button. I hope you guys have an amazing day and week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!